Welcome back, and yes, I have watched it. I have watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Um, this movie, solid sequel, and a great way to end Phase 4 of the MCU. Now, this film had probably one of the best tributes for Chadwick Boseman. The tribute was absolutely outstanding, and it did hit. It hit here. It did hit here. Ryan Coogler created an amazing film. This the script to me was fantastic. The music by Ludwig was amazing. It was exactly what we needed to see in the movie, and it was done. The music was put in the movie at perfect times, and the performances by everyone, it was executed to the highest standard, and wouldn't ask for anything more. This film was all about grief, loss, and survival. It was definitely about learning how things can change at the snap of a finger. Pun intended. Not. But the performances by Angela Bassett, by Letitia Wright, Danai Gurira as Okoye, and the introductions to new characters that we comic fans have been looking forward to seeing. Namor being introduced, Riri Williams being introduced as also, aka Ironheart, Dominique Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, fantastic. She put on an amazing performance for her first big introduction to the MCU. And we have Tencoch Huerta, who played Namor. He understood the role. He understood the assignment that was handed to him. He played that demon sky god in this movie fantastic. Now, this film had a lot of action-packed fighting scenes. It had a lot of heart-to-heart moments. This film also showed us what countries will do that doesn't have what they want, and that they will try and take it as soon as they can. And there was a lot of surprise guests in this movie, but we will get to that. I'll get to that towards the end of the video. Um, we saw how Wakanda is the powerhouse in the movie in the MCU, and we see how countries that don't have vibranium will do anything that they can to get it, even attack an outpost that Wakanda has. Now, the attack happened, but they didn't get anything that they wanted. They actually were foiled by the Dora Maje. The Dora Maje. The Dora Maje actually foiled their plan. They were ready for them. Now, these mercenaries actually thought that they were going to get vibranium and bring it back to whoever paid them to get it. But instead, they were walked in, handcuffed in the UN meeting, as you will see if you watch the movie. Watch the movie. And they were walked to the people that actually hired them to get vibranium. Steal the vibranium. It was really weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's amazing how even in the movies that you can see it, that countries take what they want without actually getting what they want. Huh. Never thought of it like that before. Well, it happens in real life too. But we're not talking about that. This movie, again, with the fight scenes, was outstanding, and it turns out that we have a lot to think about because, again, as they have found a way to find vibranium in other places other than Wakanda, they did find some at the bed of the ocean. Now, while they're finding that out, we end up actually meeting Namor and the Talokans, which actually they used the siren call, which if you say they probably were first, but they used the siren call to lure the people off the oil rig, and basically they're killing them. Absolutely outstanding, and the introduction to these guys was 100% on point. I'm trying not to give any spoilers, but it's difficult. It is very, very difficult to try to keep it to the low minimum, the first 10-15 minutes, and then. But when it comes down to it, we realize that there's a lot of things in this movie that make you think and make you wonder how people have gone about. And as I said, this film was about loss. So we do have one very, very big, significant death in this movie. Very, very heartbreaking. I'm not gonna deny it. I did shed a tear. I did start to well up. I did start to cry because you're just like, damn, that happened, really, and you're just sitting there. And you're just like, oh, this hurts so much. Um, and it does make you think. But again when I said about the character development, we saw a lot of character development on characters in this movie. Okoye understanding that she can't always live the way that she wanted it to go. We had Shuri understanding that there's sometimes that things are out of your hand control. You have to do things the way that you want things to go on. So that was another issue. We had people like, well, Namor, like thinking that he can find the easy way to go through it, but it just doesn't work. There were so many ins and outs and twists and turns in this movie where it made you wonder. And surprisingly, M'Baku had a very, very big part in this movie, which, you know what? I really loved that. I love that M'Baku had sort of a higher role in this movie, and that the Wakandans were going to, well, he was coming to Shuri talking, and obviously people were going for him advice. So there was a lot of back and forth on how things were going, but not good. I'm not saying anymore. But I will say this: this film was a great way for Phase 4 to end, and a bit of a spoiler before I go on anymore. If you haven't watched it, stop. The fact that Shuri, became the Black Panther was outstanding, and they did it right. The way that she became the Black Panther, they did that right. I love it, and the way that she found how to make the herb again was wonderful. It was amazing, and you know what? I think everyone in the whole cinema was happy. Everyone in the cinema was just like, "Oh, this is how it goes. This is how it's gonna happen. This is how it's gonna work." Um, But I do have to admit, in the cinema, there was a lot of people that were just watching the movie because it was a Marvel movie. Not a lot of people actually understood the comics either. And I have to give a big shout out to King Lion on TikTok. I think he's on YouTube as well. I read Black Panther issue 3. Obviously, it was Shuri, and I've had conversation with people about it. And you can understand where the MCU is going to go now because of obviously Chadwick Boseman passing and Shuri having to take up the mantle a lot earlier than they probably would have wanted. But the biggest, obviously, I'm guessing everyone's watched the post screen because people have recorded it, which is really, really shit and really, really bad that people have done that. But the way that they reintroduced the character T'Challa into the MCU, loved it. Absolutely loved it. I have no comments to disagree with it. It made me kind of cry. It kind of made me upset, and it was beautiful at how they have done it. Now, for me, I'm gonna give Black Panther 4 out of 5 stars. Actually, no, that's a lie. No, I'm giving it 5 stars. It is definitely getting a 5 star from me. It's definitely a film that I want to watch again. And I need to watch it again before Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania comes out. I will go through, and what I'm going to do, I am going to do my Marvel rewatch, and that's going to be fun. But again, Black Panther Wakanda Forever gets a 5 out of me. The story was amazing. The acting was brilliant. The music was on point. The fight scenes were outstanding. And you can, if you're a comic fan, you can understand and see where the movies are going to go from there. I've said enough. I've done it all. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Again, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania is out in February. That is the start of Phase 5. And Black Panther Wakanda Forever was the perfect way to end Phase 4. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the movie because it was just beautifully done, and I have no complaints whatsoever. So, again, I'm M. Rich. Black Panther Wakanda Forever gets 5 out of stars from me. I have no complaints, and I loved it. I've got the music going. I'm listening to it all the time. So, guys, if you like, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what your best part of the movie was. Hit that subscribe button, please. Help a brother out. Or hit that like button. Help a brother out with the algorithm of YouTube. And let's have some fun. Next up, you'll see me again probably soon. But thank you all for jumping in. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all are great. And I hope you have a great holiday time because it's almost Christmas. Thank you all for sharing, and I hope you see you soon. Peace.